Hello and welcome to Critic Interviews, my interview show where I invite MLP reviewers, analysts, basically any such titles, and I ask them questions and they answer them. Before introducing our guest for this time, I would just like to welcome back Quilled Inc. as a
Hello.
recurring co-host. Our guest for this time is the reviewer PaleoSteno.
Hello.
Wasn't sure what to introduce you as.
No, a paleo or a PaleoSteno, it doesn't matter.
First question, how did you become a brony? How did you first get into the show?
It happened back in 2011. I was just sort of browsing the internet and I came across some YouTube poops with the show used in it, and there was also some other things like some comic dubs I came across, and I was kind of interested in it because it looked pretty funny. Because some of the quotes that was used in the YouTube poops weren't really edited that heavily, so I went to seek out the show and I started watching. At first, I thought it was okay, but then as soon as I started watching Ticketmaster and I realized there was some like continuity to the show and everything, I started watching like the whole thing over a weekend. And after that, I started looking at the comments and people were talking about bronies, and I was like, "Brony, what is that?" And then I found out I was like a fan of the show, so I guess I'm a brony now.
Moving on to the next question. This relates to my little point as well. Well, all of them are, but it's not the point here. Uh, what would you say is your favourite episode of the show?
It's a hard choice because like I might as well go with one of the season one episodes that have has remained my favorite for a while is Green Isn't Your Color.
Hmm.
And I just really like the humor in that episode with both with Pinky and Fluttershy, and just all and also Photo Finish. I love Photo Finish in that episode. And for season one, it's definitely Green is Your Color. But if I had to go to a different season, I'd probably say It's About Time for season two, because
Yes,
I love Twilight and Pinky, and I love them interacting in that episode.
I'm not alone. That makes me happy. All right, very interesting. Okay, so it's been a pretty long time since you started into the whole YouTube analysis review of the show. And so looking back, with everything in consideration, everything that's happened since you started, the massive explosion of the analysis community, the kind of more mainstream appeal of bronies, and maybe especially the brony cons that you've almost regulared over the last few years, what do you think of the brony phenomenon? And now that you've had some, some, and I don't want to say experience, but some serious time to consider it, what do you think kind of became the main factors that has led to its mass popularity?
Um, the main factors? That's an interesting question. I would say that definitely the internet had a lot to do with it, because I think if this show came out in the 90s or like early 90s, a bit of the late 90s too, because we didn't have anything like YouTube then, that it wouldn't be as explosive as it is. I
Hmm,
think the internet definitely helped. It sort of helped the fandom grow quite a bit. Um,
definitely.
and especially with YouTube, I don't even think in like early 2000s it would have been as explosive. Since with YouTube, people had were able to watch the show because the hub is like a premium cable channel, so not many people have it. So I don't think it would have been as big of a thing if it wasn't for the internet. Because when I ask people like how they become a roadie, they usually tell me that they found it on the internet. So
Yeah, and that's the case with me. And I don't know about Mr. Critic over here, but probably a very similar scenario. Yeah.
Well, I found out about the brony fandom from a friend in real life, but then again, he probably found out about it from the internet, so
What are these
uh,
things you refer to as friends? I'm not familiar with this. No, I'm kidding. That does answer the second half of the question, but going back to the brony phenomenon of it, as a whole, kind of even apart from the internet community, I brought up the BronyCons, for example. What are your impressions of the community itself?
community itself, I think can be very, very nice. Like whenever I go to cons and everything, like people always are really genuine towards each other.
Hmm.
Um, and I would say that see the community it can get really like what's the word I'm looking for? Um,
Aggressive.
overstimulated maybe.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say aggressive, but yeah.
Because they can be pretty quick to jump on things.
Mm.
But for the most part, most people in the community are genuinely nice. So
Hmm.
So did it surprise you that something like this actually uh, flourished so much?
um, I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of people. Because I never would have expected that it would be like something like My Little Pony that it would explode so much. Yeah, I don't think I really expected it.
Who did really?
Yeah. Well, there was that one guy. It was a while back. He actually made a video after Comic-Con 2010 because that was before the show aired that October.
Right.
And the guy made a video on YouTube. I forgot the name of the guy, but he was saying that there was like a preview of the new My Little Pony cartoon, and that Lauren Faust was going to be heading it, and he said that this is probably going to be popular with a lot of guys, and like people called him the Pony Prophet because he basically predicted all the things that were going to happen.
Wow. I did not know that. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
It calls back to a few of the early 4chan posts that I recall reading up about and how it kind of flourished over there.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, following the Comic Con presentation with Lauren Faust. So, yeah, it's a bit mind boggling. But anyway, I shall stop talking.
I'm glad to say I wasn't around for that era of the brony community, and I came in at the
The
really
dark
happy,
ages
the really
of 4chan.
came in at the really happy times of the hiatus. So that was boring. But luckily, the fandom had a lot of user-generated content to keep me interested.
Definitely.
Speaking of which, I've been, I won't say a fan of your channel, Paleo, for, well, both of them. Not as long as I've been a part of the fandom, but like shortly after I discovered YouTubers like Digibro, or
Hmm.
Digibrony, Tommy Oliver and all that. So since your channel was at first, an MLP analysis channel, and now you've moved on to some more generalized vlog reviews of video games, movies, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Was that transition between the two smooth, or was there actually a certain amount of resistance from your old viewers during that?
Um, it was kind of rocky. And it's I'm still trying to get a lot of people to go over there because my old channel, which I'm actually going to be reviving some things, but it's not going to be Pony. It's I'm going to be doing something completely different on the channel. But that's why I'm making certain update videos saying, hey, if you came here for Pony, it's not going to be here anymore. But I'm still going to talk about the show on the vlog channel. Like I did a few videos on season 4, and I did start to try to do reviews of like season 1 again, but I felt like I was burning myself out by doing that. So I decided, well, I'll just wait until season 5 and do some stuff on that. And I'm also going to do a thing on Rainbow Rocks. But as far as getting people over, most people seem to be understanding about it. So subscribers have dropped on the main channel, but the vlog channel has been starting to gain some steam. So
That's good to hear.
yeah.
Yes, about that little thing called success. But anyway, on that topic, you were one of the first MLP channels, yeah, to retire a bit from the ponies, from making ponies a focus. I mean, I've seen quite a few channels kind of follow suit. Digibro is more kind of gearing towards the anime or other kind of topics similar to us. I expected a bit more from Tommy Oliver, but still, there's that presence of a bit, more freedom from limiting themselves just to ponies. But on that topic, what effect do you think that kind of moving away from ponies has had on other analysts, maybe not quite to the degree of Digibro, but kind of like below that? Or more importantly, and you kind of covered this in your last question, but kind of just to address it a bit further, your viewers, like, have you kind of noticed a negative or a positive reaction to that in general, or?
Hmm. I'd say kind of neutral, because some people like it's really dependent on what I make videos about because I did a survey recently of what people like on my channel. It seems people mostly like the cartoon stuff I do,
Hmm.
which is just like other cartoons when I talk about stuff like Gumball
Right.
or Bravest Warriors. I did one on that, and also for some strange reason, one of my most viewed videos is the video on the new Tom and Jerry cartoon. I have no idea how I got a lot of views on that, but it's really weird how certain videos gain views. They gain views at like
Yeah.
random times. And I also did a video on Clarence, and I guess that one made sense because I did a video on the pilot when that came out, and then the season itself started in May, so it started gaining views then because I figured people were searching for the episode and my video came up, I guess. I'd say it's kind of neutral. Like I didn't really get too much backlash.
I mean, moving back to the show and uh, preferences and all that. Who would you say is your favorite My Little Pony character? Remember, it doesn't have to be contained to the main six. It can be princesses, not background ponies. They don't count.
What? They totally count.
Um, like my favorite's always been Twilight for quite a while. But I do really like Pinky. Like I said before.
I can accept that. It
But
just
yeah,
hardens
I
me to
mean,
know that I'm not the only person who likes Twilight Sparkle and does analysis review videos. For a while there, I thought I was alone. That makes me happy.
yeah, yeah. Actually, for quite a while uh when I first started watching this show, Fluttershy was my favorite because she was like obsessed over animals, and when she said flora and fauna in Ticketmaster, I was like, okay, she's my favorite now. So, but then as I
Understandable.
started watching the show more, I found a lot more of myself in Twilight. So she started being my favorite.
Mm,
So,
Found
and
it.
then
Sorry.
Pinky's like a close second. So,
I find that relatability comes up a lot when people talk about their favorite characters. Like for me, Fluttershy is definitely my
yeah.
favorite due to that fact.
okay, so this kind of segues nicely from the previous question. So, in the show, is there a character that you would like to see get a bit more development in the upcoming seasons? And again, like the previous one, it could be any character, main six, background, you name it.
Um, I'm trying to think. Because there are some other characters that haven't really had an episode to themselves. Like Zakora hasn't, besides Bridal
Mm,
Gossip, when she was introduced, she hasn't really had an episode to herself, and I think
yeah.
that would be really interesting. And also, Dami Tiara and Silver Spoon, I think I'd
Oh,
like to see their relationship sort of explored. So
interesting.
I think that'd be neat.
Hmm. I totally agree with both of those, actually. Never really thought about Sakura, which is surprising, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Well answered.
my friend definitely thinks about Zecora. His even his OC is a zebra.
It's
Mm.
kind of ironic and funny in a way. My sister occasionally watches the show with me, and the only, and I use quotations, pony that she would call her favorite was Zakora.
Hmm.
I just consider that a little bit ironic. But yeah, there's some appeal in a show where everything seems so abnormal when compared to, real life that something that actually has more ties to what we would call like human-esque cultural relatability seems to be more appealing. But anyway, sorry, I'll stop rambling. Go ahead with the next question.
Yeah, so the topics of all these questions just keep moving around because I forgot to actually put them in a good order, like I said earlier. So back to YouTube for the rest of the questions, actually. Uh, having like the subscribers that you had, have you ever found that having a larger amount of subscribers ever affects the quality of your work? Or how you treat your work, or even if you consider it work at all?
The amount?
The amount of subscribers, yes.
Hmm. I don't really think like it affects me quite as much as other people. I know that because I talk to Tom a lot, and a lot of the times he feels like very um, obligated to put something out, even though like his passions really lie with like art and writing. Because and I feel bad because I'm sort of the one who started him on you had him start on YouTube because he wrote this thing out about Applejack and how like the writers don't give her any attention, and like I told him you should make a video about this, and I sort of got him started on doing it, and he started doing it regularly, and I kept encouraging him to do it, and I kind of feel bad because he sort of hates doing videos, but not in the way that like I don't want to bad mouth Tom. He's going to yell at me later.
Well,
um,
no, he said as much in his time with Dr. Wolf. So
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it really affects me as much as other people. Like I do feel bad when I don't have a video out in time. But I still like doing the videos. Like I meant to have two videos out this week already, but I just had some real life stuff that I had to take care of.
Mm.
Um, and actually I'm going to be recording a couple of things after this. Um, because I meant to do a video on Dolphin Tale 2, which I watched over
Oh,
the weekend, and I'm gonna do a video on the Smash Brothers demo.
The
So
Smash Brothers
I look
demo.
forward to it.
Oh, it's so good.
yeah,
Yeah, you Nintendo boys, go have your fun. I'll just lie in a corner with my PlayStation and weep.
Actually, I kind of forgot that you were a really big gamer, so I should have included questions on that. That would have been a good
well, you can
idea.
ask some other questions if you want.
All right then. What is your favorite game franchise?
Metroid.
Metroid.
Yeah, Metroid's my favorite. Like ever since I played Fusion Prime, and then I went back to play Super Metroid because I never played Super Metroid before. So yeah, I really like Metroid.
What do you think of Metroid Prime? Or
I
have you
like
ever
it.
played it?
Yeah, like Metroid Prime and Metroid Fusion were my first two Metroids, and like I like the series. I know a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people, don't like the Metroid Prime series because it went to like an FPS sort of view, but like if you think about, especially the first one, it plays out a lot like Super Metroid, but in 3D and in first person. So yeah, I really like the Metroid Prime series.
All right, time to get back to the planned questions then. That's all that came to mind.
Okay.
Okay, well, okay, so this is really relatively educational question, I'm sure, for a lot of people. So what do you believe is the most important aspect of being a reviewer? Or you could also look at this question as being like, if you could tell an up and coming reviewer one tip, one thing to get them going, what would it be?
Man, I'm trying to think of something.
Wow, I'm actually getting good at this thing. I'm getting people speechless with my questions.
Now we have to reflect on whether this is a good thing or a bad thing.
I guess the one thing that you should definitely try if you're looking to do reviews and stuff is to I guess try to point out things that people haven't really talked about. 'Cause I try to do that with my movie reviews. Or actually, one thing I try to do for my movie reviews is that I don't look at anybody's reviews until I do mine. So that way, I don't really have much. I don't really say the
Right.
same things.
Yeah.
And if I do say the same things, it's just coincidence. There are times when I do watch couple reviews before I do my own. Like I watched uh, Andre the Black Nerd's review on the Angry Video Game Nerd movie before I did mine.
Hmm.
And he made no, wait a minute, no, it wasn't that. It was it wasn't his. He didn't even do a review of that. I mean the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I
Ah.
watched his review of that before I did mine, and I I I did a I pointed out a couple of things that he also that he made sense on. So um, like I credited him on that. But I guess the thing is that just try to be observational
Hmm.
if you're going to do a review.
Definitely.
There's a lot of times when I feel like when, especially my old pony reviews, that I feel like I was just putting out like plot summaries, and I feel like
Hmm.
a lot of reviewers still do that, where they
I
do
thought,
plot summaries,
Yeah.
and it just um because actually one reviewer who's been doing stuff for a while actually pointed this out to me when I first started doing reviews was Buck555. He actually pointed that out to me when I did like first few of my reviews in season 2, and he said that to skip the plot summary and just go on with your thoughts. So yeah, I would say like try not to summarize the plot unless it's something like big like a movie, I guess, because
Hmm.
for an episode, if you're going to do a review of an episode, like everybody already knows the plot. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Actually, that suddenly brought up a question that I'm kind of curious to get people's feedback on. In the general brony analysis community, we see people who label themselves as being analysts, and people who will, kind of release their videos as reviews. And
I'm
something
neither.
that I've
I'm a
kind of,
critic. Haha.
well, you're special. Um, Something that I've been kind of noticing is that sometimes the line between an analyst and a reviewer has been a bit blurred, especially when someone's saying that they're analyzing episode, for example. That sometimes kind of coincides directly with what other people would consider reviewing an episode. So, what's your take on the difference between the two, and would you be able to clarify that contrast a bit? Just the spur of the moment.
Um. Well, for the thing is that Digi made analyzations popular.
Hmm.
Like started doing reviews, and then like Tom did a few reviews afterward. And Golden Fox is another one that did reviews uh around the time I was doing them. And he's still doing them. But I don't know. Because like I've never really been part of the analyzation community.
Right.
I've sort of had like my own little group.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
but and I kind of find it fascinating how big that community has grown. Um, because like when I first started doing pony reviews, like I guess nobody really thought it was of anything worthwhile to do like a review of an episode. Who would want to watch that? So I guess the whole analyzation thing, the fact that you call it an analyzation makes it more it makes it more appealing to watch. I don't
Ah,
know. It's it's
right.
strange, like because
Yeah.
I still don't really know the difference between a
Yeah.
review and analyzation.
Yeah. I mean, I still struggle with clarifying the difference myself. I guess I've kind of narrowed it down to a review criticizes or tries to rate something, and an analysis just observes. But that's just very surface level. But anyway, I shall stop talking yet again.
I believe there was a video made, actually, probably many videos made on that particular subject. One that comes to mind is the Looney Turtles video.
Ah, see, I haven't
Don't
really
know.
acquainted myself much with Looney yet, so kind
Ah,
of missing out on that.
then,
Oops.
last question I've got written down here. It could be seen as an all-encompassing question, some kind of conclusion. Where do you see you? Sorry. What do you see yourself doing on your channel in, say, a year or so?
I'm hoping to have my game reviews for PaleoSteno, the PaleoSteno channel, going. I've been planning them out now, and I'm gonna have them start releasing in November. They're going to be mainly like indie game reviews, and not of like indie games that nobody's heard about. These are going to be like games that people recognize. Like I'm not sure if you guys are into indie games or anything, but you may have seen people play them. Like There's a few like Runner 2, or
Mm,
Bit Trip Runner,
Mm.
and FTL, Dust and Elysian Tail, um,
would
and later
Bastion or
on I'm going to.
Transistor count in that category as well?
Yeah, Transistor
Okay.
definitely counts.
Yeah.
I did do a review on that on my vlog channel, and also did one
Oh
on
yeah, I
Shovel Knight.
remember that. Mm.
Um, but yeah, I'd be doing like reviews of games like that, and I'm gonna continue doing the vlog channel stuff alongside that. So um, I'm hoping that those reviews take off a little bit. I'm not expecting too much in the beginning, but I'm hoping that people will like them.
Uh, Thank you for joining us on this interview. It's a real pleasure to have you.
Oh, no problem.
Anyway, if you want to go and check out, well, both of Paleo's channels, vlog channel, and like he said, like upcoming game reviews, the links will be in the description, and so will the link to Quilled channel. I'm the Ponyville Critic.
And I'm Quilled Ink.
And I am PaleoSteno.
Thank you for listening, everyone, every pony.
Every pony, everyone.
Perfect.
Okay.